Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. In the depths of Amazon, a place where secrets are hidden in every shadow, roam unique creatures that are unknown to the world. From vividly bizarre creatures and their freakish features, to staggering experiences recording bewildering adaptations of animals, hold on to see these strange animals. If not recorded, would be hard to believe. Shoebill. Have you ever heard of the shoebill? It's a bird from East Africa with a foot-long bill. Tan with brown splotches, it's 12 centimeter wide and has sharp edges and a sharp hook on the end. Its specialized bill allows the shoebill to grab large prey, including lungfish, eels, and snakes. It even snacks on baby crocodiles and Nile monitor lizards. You wouldn't believe it, but they have a strange survival strategy. If they sense they can't feed all their chicks, or if one seems weak or ill, they'll just toss it out of the nest. Yep, that is strangely true. And if somehow they manage to survive the previous stage, there will be a level 2, which begins the sibling rivalry, in which sometimes they end up finishing each other's lives. Well, no wonder they are rare creatures. Frigatebird. You might have heard of the magnificent frigatebird for having a unique appearance and strange mating style. First off, males and females look entirely different, with the males sporting this vivid red pouch. These birds are mostly black in color, and they have a hooked bill. They also have very small webbed feet. When the male wants to attract a mate, he inflates this huge pouch to stand out. After securing the spot, he tries to woo a female over. The interesting bit is that females aren't just impressed by his display. They're picky about the nest location too. It has to be easily accessible with the right wind conditions. Dart frog. This frog is known as the poison dart frog because the indigenous Coco people of Colombia recognized its potency of poison using the venom on their hunting darts. Its fiery colors are not just nature's artwork, but a heavy warning. It has a poison on its skin that is so strong that even a tiny amount of about 2.5 grams can paralyze or may even finish off a human. Surprisingly, this tiny amphibian's lethal toxin isn't self-made, but derived from the ants it consumes. This is the enchanting yet perilous allure of the poison dart frog, but make sure to be aware of the dazzling danger. Blood-shooting lizard. Reptile evolution has brought some unique defense mechanisms, but the shooting lizard tops the list. These cunning lizards, also known as horned toads, possess a remarkable ability to spurt a crimson liquid from their eyes as a defense mechanism against predators. It's like their own secret weapon against them. It's possible because of their fancy vascular system and high-pressure gizmos to make this weird defense work. When this little lizard senses danger, it doesn't waste time. It flexes its muscles and shoots out that red liquid from its eyes with pinpoint accuracy. This crimson spray doesn't affect the predator much, but it sure freaks them out, providing it a chance to make a quick escape. MYGALOMORPH spider. Don't let their size fool you. With their potent venom and massive fangs, these spiders can easily turn the tables on their prey. Some researchers in Peru caught a tarantula dragging a young possum on camera. This was the first time it's been recorded. They were studying how creatures like spiders interact with other small animals in the Amazon rainforest. Turns out these giant spiders use their huge fangs and venom to catch prey, and they're responsible for a surprising number of creature losses in the Amazon. If this doesn't send shivers down your spine, I don't know what will. Whale in jungle. In the midst of the Brazilian jungle, a discovery left biologists scratching their heads in disbelief. Near the Amazon River, they found a massive humpback whale. This place was a staggering 4,000 miles from where you'd typically spot these giants. With the Amazon's mouth nearby, the scene was surreal, almost as if nature decided on a plot twist. This mystery only deepens the intrigue for scientists. Some theorize a tsunami might have brought this massive creature to the forest, but it remains a captivating puzzle awaiting an answer. Bullet ants. So, this is my personal favorite, an ant that packs such a fierce punch that it's hard not to be intrigued.
Oh, there's one on the other side here. Here we go.
These giants, I mean giants by the sheer strength they hold, stretch up to 2.5 centimeters. They roam from Nicaragua to the Amazon. Whether it's on the forest floor or way up in the treetops, you can spot them on lianas and tree trunks.
They are coming for me.
And you know what? Despite living in colonies, they're kind of solo players when hunting down insects or savoring plant sap. Well, who would need a helping ant when it can produce a strike that hits more than a bullet shot? I mean, I wouldn't.
Coax one in here. Coming for me. They are coming for me. Oh, there's one on the other side here. Here we go. Here we go.
Philippine eagle. There's this magnificent bird, the Philippine eagle, that looks like it's taken style cues from a punk fan. It has this intense gaze that feels like it's studying you. This massive bird found deep in the Philippines forest is hailed as the world's largest eagle, stretching between 7 to 8 centimeters long. Its hunting prowess is equally impressive, preying on sizable creatures like monkeys and even other birds like the hornbill. But deforestation has pushed this bird to the brink. The situation is so dire that hunting one could land you 12 years in a Filipino prison. Yet there are barely 370 of these majestic birds left. Tarsier. Have you heard about the tarsier? It's this little creature with the biggest eyes, proportionally, of any mammal. What's wild is that they're the only primates that are strictly carnivorous. They're tiny, but don't let size hold them back. They're fantastic hunters, even taking on prey bigger than themselves. And those huge eyes, perfect for nighttime hunting. You might wonder about their long legs and fingers. They're all about leaping high and gripping tree branches tight. They're not just good hunters though, they're also experts at dodging predators. Honestly, they might just be one of the most agile climbers out there. Giant spider. If you have ever an experience of diving into the Amazon, then you might stumble upon the Goliath bird-eating spider. This tarantula, as massive as an elephant in the spider world, spans up to a foot with its legs. It can munch on bugs, frogs, and even rodents. But here's the creepiest part. It can't eat solids. Instead, it injects toxins, liquefies its prey from the inside, and slurps it up. Though it's nearly blind, it's equipped with prickly, sensitive hairs that detect movement. And if threatened, it launches these hairs, causing painful irritations. So, a word of advice: admire from a distance. Pangolin. You won't believe this, but this timid pangolin has an unwanted title. It's often considered the most trafficked mammal on the planet. Such a sad fate for such an innocuous creature. This mammal is actually found mainly in Asia and Africa. Some pangolins are as small as house cats, but some are as big as medium-sized dogs. This creature is covered in almost 100 scales, and with keratin scales like our fingernails, they can curl into a near impervious ball. Their super long tongues, sometimes stretching 40 centimeters, help them hunt ants and termites. Surprisingly, some pangolins can even walk on 2 feet or swim, but their popularity in traditional medicines puts them at risk. Giant forest insect. Guess what I stumbled upon? Watch this giant Termechus swarmdami, or more simply, the giant forest scorpion. Hailing from India, this beast holds the title for the world's largest scorpion, stretching up to 23 centimeters and weighing a whopping 0.12 pounds. You know, this scorpion has a cool reddish-brown color, and the younger ones are more reddish with a yellowish tail end. It's got these 16 to 20 tiny teeth things on its comb. Oh, and its claw is super rounded. Its head's mostly smooth but grainy on the edges. Giant forest scorpions have this whole romantic dance ritual. The guy takes the gal's pincers and they kind of waltz around. He picks a spot to drop his, well, contribution, and then leads her right to it. And guess what? Instead of laying eggs, she actually gives birth to little scorpions. Unusual creature. This time in the Amazon rainforest, wildlife conservationists discovered this unusual creature known as tapir. It resembles a pig, but a pig that has a weird wiggly trunk. It's actually closer to horses and rhinos because the three belong to the same biological group called perissodactyls. These tapirs have been around for ages and haven't changed much in millions of years. It's like they're walking time capsules. Well, the only thing that makes them stand out among the others is again the trunk. They use it to grab branches and clean them of leaves. Lyrebird. You won't believe what I recently discovered about a bird from southeastern Australia. It stretches up to 1 meter, and this bird is an Aussie native, but rumor has it it's also been spotted in Tasmania. Other than its gland tail and unique appearance, this bird has a shocking ability to mimic sound. Seriously, it's top tier in the animal world. Be it a camera shutter, a car alarm, and even the sound of laser gun. It can and will mimic everything it hears. Isn't it wild how some creatures have this uncanny ability to perfectly echo their surroundings? This one, without a doubt, wears the crown for mimicry. Black heron. This black heron is a medium, all-black, plumaged African heron with yellow feet. It is usually seen actively feeding in open, shallow water. What's fascinating is its unique hunting style. It uses what's called an umbrella feeding technique. The heron literally hunts by spreading and curling its wings above the water, creating a shadow that attracts fish. This shadow acts like an umbrella, making it easier for the heron to spot and catch its prey. You might mistake it for the dark version of some egrets because of its color, but it's noticeably smaller and doesn't have a pale patch near its bill. VOGELKOP. Did you know there's this incredibly unique bird found only in the western tip of New Guinea, specifically on the Bird's Head Peninsula? No? Then you have got to watch this clip. Known as the bird of paradise, it has the weirdest courtship ritual. But it works well for him. It all began in the mating season when the male prepared the floor, and when the female arrived, it started the show. Or I must say, stole the show. With its eyes lit like bright headlights, it displays its wings in a half circle, creating a hypnotizing dance as it circles the female. It's almost as if the bird knows exactly how to woo and impress. Great POTO. The great POTO is the largest of its species and has a wide range throughout Central and South America. They are known for their distinctive appearance. This bird has a large head, giant round eyes, elliptical-shaped wings, large gaping mouths, and an elongated tail. They weigh between 0.9 and 1.4 pounds and grow from 48 to 60 centimeters with a 71 centimeter wingspan. And you know what's really catching about it? The male and female great POTOs look so similar that ornithologists have difficulty telling them apart. While they have a decent population, it's sadly on the decline, mostly from habitat loss. World's smallest bird. Believe it or not, the world's tiniest bird weighs less than a dime. Head to Cuba, and in the thick of its forests among the entwining vines and bromeliads, you might spot the bee hummingbird. But don't mistake it for an actual bee, it's that small. At a minuscule 2 1/4, 0.6 centimeters long, this avian marvel has earned its name. But here's where it gets wilder. During its flight, the bird's wings can flap up to 200 times a second, especially during courtship. And the male? He parades a radiant, almost fiery pinkish red head, and similarly brilliant spikes down his breast. It's so bizarre to think something so small can be so vibrant and lively. Nature's got its quirks, huh? Giant cassowaries. Did you know there's a modern-day dinosaur lurking in Australia's rainforest? The cassowary. It is the heaviest bird in Australia and the second heaviest in the world after its cousin, none other than the ostrich. Well, giant cassowaries have 3 toes, and one of them sports a claw that's a whopping 10 centimeters long. Yep, like a mini sword. With one kick and bam, it can fend off any creature that poses a threat. And trust me, it's not just about the kick. This bird can sprint through forest at speeds of up to 31 miles per hour. Crazy, right? They can also jump, shooting 2 meters up in the air. And if that wasn't enough, they're great swimmers too. So, whether it's land, water, or air, they've got their bases. Golden pheasant. Meet the golden pheasant, also dubbed as the Chinese pheasant. Native to the forests of western and central China, this bird showcases an explosive palette, especially the males. With vibrant golds, deep greens, and fiery reds, the male golden pheasant is undeniably a head-turner. In stark contrast, the females sport a subdued mottled brown plumage. Intriguingly, they prefer walking to flying, and while they can soar, they are a bit clumsy in the air. However, despite their beauty, these birds face threats, both from natural predators and humans. Though not endangered, their number is declining in the wild. Scary vultures. Now, one thing is clear, it's not your average bird, because standing tall at about 100 to 115 centimeters with a massive wingspan stretching between 2.5 to 2.85 meters, this majestic creature can weigh anywhere from 9.9 to 34.6 pounds. And guess what they prefer to eat? It's mostly bones. Yep, around 85% of their diet is just bones, often from mountain animals like ibex, chamayas, and even red deer. Oh, and they don't mind munching on remains from domestic animals like sheep, too. And here is another, this griffon vulture. It has sand-colored skin with a white head, neck, and ruff. The primary and tail feathers are dark brown to black. As expected, they primarily dine on the remains of large domestic and wild herbivores, just like the bearded vultures, who have this fascinating preference for bones. Weird monkey. The golden snub-nosed monkey is so rare that it is only and rarely found in China. These monkeys, distinguished by their vibrant golden fur and unique blue-eyed snub-nosed face, are nature's hidden gems. What really intrigued me is their social structures. One male leads a family of many females, and they communicate using distinct vocalizations. They really are good communicators. By using body language and 18 different calls, they alarm their pelts and make them targets for hunters. Aardwolf. Ever heard of a striped hyena? How would you? They don't even exist. But then, I discovered aardwolves. They are like the lesser-known cousins in the hyena family. They are almost equal to the size of a hyena, but have front legs that are longer than their back ones, which gives them this unique walk, and they can keep it up for miles. They are night creatures, mostly hanging out in grasslands. They're also pretty resourceful, as they use old abandoned burrows for homes and even make them bigger for their little ones. Purple frog. Ever heard of a frog that squawks like a chicken? This purple frog is a living fossil from India's Western Ghats. And you might be surprised to know that these frogs are pretty sturdy and have this unusually pointed snout. Its flat body lets it stick to underwater rocks, even with strong currents. Plus, it's got this cool, dark, purplish gray color. Oh, and the male purple frogs? Way smaller than the females. This 80-million-year-old species hides underground 364 days a year, only emerging for a single day to breed. Hence, it was only discovered 20 years ago in 2003. I mean, a very rare sight. The eye. Madagascar comes to unique species hosts the bizarre eye. With wide eyes, long fingers, and scraggly fur, it's often mistaken as a rodent. But guess what? It's a nocturnal primate. More interestingly, its hunting method is uncanny. Using percussive foraging, the eye taps on trees like a woodpecker, gnawing holes to fish out grubs with its slender finger. However, this quirky creature faces threats, rapid deforestation, and local superstitions, labeling them as harbingers of evil. Let's protect this fascinating monkey before its mysterious tapping goes silent forever. SUNDA COLUGO. Ever heard of a creature that's neither a true lemur nor a true flyer? Meet SUNDA COLUGO. It's often called the Malayan Coluga, and it is from places like Thailand and Malaysia. People used to think there were only two kinds of flying lemurs, but the other one is exclusive to the Philippines. You know, this SUNDA flying lemur isn't that big. Their body is roughly 34 to 38 centimeters long. Their tail is about 24 to 25 centimeters, and they only weigh somewhere between 1.9 to 2.8 kilograms. Pretty lightweight, right? And the fascinating fact is that this animal glides using a special membrane stretched between its limbs. Amazonian giant creature. Do you know about these Amazonian giant centipedes? It's like Mother Nature's own version of a horror film character. This creature is so daring, it can take on birds, bats, frogs, and even rats. And the size? It can reach up to a foot long. It's not just their size, they're also swift, muscular hunters. And you know what is super freaky? That is how they take down their prey. They've got this unique venom blend that they inject using specialized appendages, and in a turn of events, in some cultures, they're the ones on the menu. So if you ever encounter one, remember, they're fascinating, fearsome, and a crucial part of our ecosystem. And now let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows? We might even feature it in one of our videos. A group of explorers, while on a trip to discover the unknown in the dense forest of Amazon, spotted these in the river. They had long beaks with strange-looking eyes, but as per the explorers, before they could capture more of these otherworldly animals, they darted away, leaving everyone scratching their heads. It was when the video went viral that many pointed out its striking resemblance to the California condor, especially that distinctive beak shape. But no one's quite sure if it's actually the condor or something else entirely. Condor are an unidentified creature. With the forest being so vast, we can never know. So, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. See you next time.